So today I wanted to do a video on alpha men, in particular dating alpha men using your feminine energy. Before we get started, if you're interested in learning how to attract and keep high quality men and having the dream relationship you want, you may want to consider working with me one-on-one. All you have to do is go to the link below and book a free consultation with me to get started. This is one of the topics that I'm really excited about and passionate about because I think it was one of the things that really motivated me to want to get my channel out in the beginning, because I love alpha men. When I was single, I just thought these kind of guys are so sexy. They're such a turn on, and what woman wouldn't want to have one, right? So I wanted to share my knowledge about alpha men and to demystify them for women out there, so you're not afraid, right? You're not intimidated by the idea of potentially attracting one, dating one, being in a relationship with one, but also letting you know some of the traits that come along with alpha men. Okay, that may be surprising for some of you. First tip I have is to embrace your femininity. So alpha men love feminine women. Okay, they love a woman who is comfortable with herself, who is secure within herself, and really takes pride in her feminineness. Okay, so it's not so much how she looks, although that's definitely a part of it. But generally, a feminine woman who's comfortable with herself and loves her femininity will have no troubles flaunting it and being confident to show it off. And that is what is very attractive to alpha men, right? They love a woman who knows she's attractive and she's not afraid to show it off, and she even has fun showing it off. Whatever your assets may be, like I like my legs, my husband likes my legs, so I definitely showed my legs off, right, when I was single, when I was dating, and it was just like very I wasn't insecure about it. I was very like confident. I have good legs, I'm gonna show them off, and was very playful about that, right? And I think men really like that. So think about yourself, like what do you love about being a woman, and emphasizing that, right? Is it your hair? Is it the way is it your eyes maybe? And really accentuating that and highlighting that and focusing on that and flaunting it, because that's what is so fun and makes you 10 times sexier. Tip number 2 is to enjoy being chased. Alpha men love to pursue. They naturally pursue women, especially feminine women that love their femininity. So I think one of the joys of being courted by a masculine alpha male is to just enjoy being pursued. Now there's another side to this, is that naturally when we get excited about a man and having fun with him pursuing us, we tend to get a little bit anxious too when we worry about him not pursuing us. So a lot of the things on this channel that I talk about is how to manage our emotions and our excitement in the courtship process, right? So this means if you want to really elevate this and enjoy being pursued by a alpha male, then you want to know how to manage your emotions and how to make sure when you get excited or when you get anxious and you want to text him or call him and, do that role reversal, that you instead go for a walk or write in your journal or call up a friend or get busy doing something else, right? Give back to yourself and focus on yourself instead of what he is doing or what he isn't doing. Tip number 3 is alpha men don't have a problem with showing vulnerability. And this is maybe a misconception that we have, that we think they tend to be perfect, right? They tend to not to be vulnerable. But in fact, the opposite is true. They're not afraid to be vulnerable. In fact, they just kind of know that dating and having a relationship requires vulnerability. It's just a prerequisite. Okay, so they immediately are willing to put themselves out there, to put their insecurities and even their flaws out there, because number one, they're not insecure about them. They're accepting of their flaws, they're accepting of their insecurities, so they're willing to show the world their flaws and insecurities without shame. And that's a big difference between true alphas and wannabe alphas, let's say. If you have a man who's a wannabe alpha, he may appear confident, but the only difference is he's not as willing to be vulnerable. He's not willing to show people his insecurities and what he's not good at or his flaws, and that's only because he has a bit of shame around that. He's not fully accepting of that himself. True alphas are secure, but that's because they're secure about their insecurities. Okay, therefore, if you want to be able to attract one and keep dating one, then it's necessary for you to be vulnerable yourself. Okay, if he's willing to be vulnerable but you're not, then he's going to feel a disconnect. He will feel like you're at different ends of the scale. You're not on the same page, you're at different worlds. Tip number 4, alpha men need to be with a woman who is his equal. He will probably not respect a woman who either treats him as if she's above him or as if she's beneath him. Just notice what your behavior is around him. So if you find yourself starting to show these kind of behaviors, so for example, if you start to feel righteous around him, start to criticize him, start to act like you know more, you know better, he should listen to you, right? If you're starting to do that, then you're probably not thinking of him as your equal. You're probably thinking you're a little bit above him. And even if you're not thinking that, that's how your behavior may be interpreted. On the other hand, if you're noticing you're starting to fear losing him, or you need to impress him, you need to change yourself to please him, you need to do certain things to keep him around, then maybe you're starting to act like you're inferior to him, right? You're beneath him and you're putting him on a pedestal. He will feel a disconnect from you if you're either, because he wants a woman who is his equal. He wants to feel like you're on the same page. He respects you equally, or you have mutual respect towards each other. So he doesn't want to feel like he's dating a doormat. He wants to feel like you're a woman he can respect, that you can stand up for yourself. You know how to have your own back. You know how to have opinions and not be afraid to share your opinions. My last tip number 5, is if you're going to talk about something serious with your alpha man, is to use direct, clear, concise language. Less is more. So you want to be prepared. Just like if you're going to do a presentation at work or teach a class, you're not just going to, hopefully, not just come up with something off the top of your head, right? You're going to be a little bit more prepared. You're going to know what you want to say, what the purpose of your message is. And you want to make sure you're confident in your delivery, okay? So I tend to find this happens a lot when we want to communicate a certain message, or we want to get a certain response or a certain answer from a man. If you're timid about how he's going to respond, what he's going to say, then you may end up acting insecure. You may end up dancing around, skirting around the issue, rambling on and on, not really get to the point, and then the message just gets lost. Not only does the message get lost, but you will walk away from that conversation as if nothing has been accomplished because you entered it insecure. So I want you to really prepare for these kind of conversations and be confident and direct. Even sit across directly from him, make strong eye contact, talk slowly, talk clearly, don't ramble, right? Like that's how you need to communicate, or else, especially alpha men, they're just not going to get it. That's just not the way they communicate, right? Think about this. They're at work. They need to be direct at work. They need to communicate all the time with people. So this is the fastest way and most effective way to get through to them, as quickly and effectively as possible. If you're ready to finally attract and keep high quality men and have your dream relationship, just go to the link below, and from there you can book a free consultation with me and we can talk about how we can work together one-on-one. I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions about dating alpha males and anything else that you would like to know, please just leave me a comment below and I will definitely make more videos on this, because I think this is a very interesting topic that maybe not a lot of people are talking about. So that's all from me, ladies. I will talk to you real soon next time.